Let's dive into one of the most hidden, most complex human emotions out there: jealousy. And I'm not talking about the loud, obvious kind. I'm talking about the quiet, secret jealousy that works just under the surface of our friendships, our work relationships, pretty much everywhere. It's the kind of thing that can totally reshape things without a single word ever being said.
You know, jealousy is a real master of disguise. It's sneaky. But here's the thing about it: it can't stay hidden forever. It always leaks out. It comes out in these subtle behaviors, in coded language, and in these kind of strange actions that just leave you feeling, well, confused.
So that's the big question, right? What are the breadcrumbs it leaves behind us to find? Think of this as a bit of a psychological investigation. We're going to go on the hunt for those clues, and you'll learn how to spot the signals that honestly are usually hiding in plain sight. Okay, so first things first, we have to start with this basic rule. Secret jealousy almost never introduces itself. It always wears a mask. It might look like it's just being concerned or giving you some friendly advice or even, admiring you. The trick is knowing what's really going on underneath all that. And this is absolutely crucial. We're not talking about one single isolated thing. Look, anybody can have an off day or say something a little clumsy. What we're looking for here are patterns, consistent patterns of behavior. It's the repetition of these subtle actions over and over that really tells the true story. All right, our first major clue is a funny one because it's so counterintuitive. It's the compliment. Seems totally positive, doesn't it? But in the hands of someone who's secretly jealous, praise can actually be a really subtle weapon. Let's break this code down a little bit. See the formula? The words themselves sound nice, but they always come with this little hook, a qualifier that kind of deflates the achievement. You were lucky, totally writes off all your hard work. That's great. For you, puts this weird distance between you. And oh, that last one, the totally flat, monotone, I'm so happy for you. Sometimes the body language says everything the words don't. So why does this even happen? Well, there's a fascinating psychological reason called cognitive dissonance. It's basically that uncomfortable feeling we get when we're holding two conflicting thoughts at the same time. In this case, it's, I really should be happy for my friend, clashing with, wow, I am so envious of their success. That backhanded compliment? It's the awkward, messy result of that internal battle. Now for our next piece of evidence, and this one's, well, it's a bit darker. This is when someone seems just a little too interested, maybe even a tiny bit pleased when you run into a problem or have a setback. And yes, there is a perfect word for this: Schadenfreude. It's a German term that just perfectly nails this complex feeling, that little flicker of satisfaction someone feels when they hear your big project got delayed or that your presentation didn't go so well. What's really driving this is comparison. It's a fundamental human instinct. For someone wrestling with jealousy, your success feels like it's widening this gap between the two of you. So when you stumble, it doesn't just feel like your failure. For them, it feels like the gap is closing. It temporarily eases their own feelings of inadequacy. Your setback, in a weird way, feels like their win. Our next sign is super confusing because it starts out looking a lot like flattery. But here's the thing. Imitation that's fueled by jealousy has this competitive edge that simple admiration just doesn't have. You can see the whole cycle pretty clearly. It starts with what feels like real admiration, but then it shifts. They don't just pick up your hobby, they try to get better at it than you are. They don't just like your sense of style, they buy the exact same outfit and try to wear it better. The goal isn't really to be like you, it's to replace you and surpass you. And now for what might be the most puzzling and honestly the most painful sign of them all: the friend who just ghosts you. And they do it at the exact moment you have amazing news. You get a promotion, you get engaged, you have a huge breakthrough, and suddenly they are just gone. Look at this. It's a perfect inverse relationship. As your success level goes way up, their engagement, their texts, calls, everything just plummets. They're the most absent right when you'd think they'd be there to celebrate with you. So what is happening here psychologically? It's not always that they stopped caring about you. It's that your success becomes this huge, painful mirror, and it reflects back at them all of their own perceived failures or their lack of progress. And to protect themselves from that pain, they just withdraw. They can't face your celebration because it just makes their own envy feel that much bigger. Okay, so we've gathered all the clues. We've got the backhanded compliments, that quiet little celebration of your failures, the competitive copying, and the strategic disappearing act. Now let's pull it all together and look at the whole picture. You can see that these aren't just a bunch of random actions. They're all tactics, whether they're conscious of it or not, and they all serve the exact same purpose: to manage the deep discomfort of their own jealousy. By either subtly chipping away at your accomplishments or just avoiding them completely, the whole pattern is about trying to rebalance the scales in their own mind. And this really brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. One weird compliment, that's not a final verdict. One missed phone call to celebrate could just be a busy week. But when you start to see these behaviors repeating, forming a consistent pattern over time, that is when your gut is probably telling you something really important about what's going on in that relationship. Look, this knowledge isn't about running around and accusing people. It's about understanding. It's about giving you the clarity to navigate your relationships with a bit more wisdom, to protect your own energy, and maybe even have a little more compassion for the silent struggles that can make people act in these really complicated ways. What you do with that clarity, well, that's up to you.